Let's play a game. All right. On the count of three, name your favorite dinosaur. Don't even think about it. Just name it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
You want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup.
This is the Karate in the Garage podcast with Mason Merrill and Weston Toth. Welcome back to another edition of the Karate in the Garage podcast. My name is Mason Merrill, and I am here with my co-host, Weston Toth. Once again, how you doing, Weston?
Good, Mason. How you doing, man?
Good. Good to be back here with you. Been a little bit of a crazy, busy week, as I'm sure you could say so yourself.
Yeah. We missed last week because our schedules were not aligned, but it was fun playing. Doing that this week.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to get back into this. Yeah, just a lot going on. So releasing it a little bit later than we would like to, but it's not quite a full week. It's probably Wednesday when this thing's going up. So I hope everybody was able to listen and enjoy the episode last week, and hopefully it made sense. And we noted last week that we were going to talk about Venom and Spider-Man separation anxiety. So we looking forward to getting into that game. What do you think, Weston?
Yeah, for sure. It was pretty enjoyable to do that. We actually got to play together, which was pretty sweet. It made the game, I don't know, like 50 times more fun for me at least.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was awesome that we were able to sit down and enjoy this one as a team here, because I'm playing a game like this. It's really just not fun, and it's not really designed to play by yourself, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty cool just because we could just sit back, enjoy the game, and then just kind of talk while we played it, just like olden days, except we were sitting in front of our iPads or our computers rather than right next to each other like we used to do. So yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, the power of the internet is amazing these days. So even playing some old games together, which is really cool. So this game came out in November of 1995, and originally we wanted to there's a few of these games in the series, and we wanted to play them in order, but I was wrong when I said that Separation Anxiety was the first in the series, because it's actually the second in the series.
Yeah, so looking on the plot line of the first one, it was actually Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage, and if I remember it correctly, it had a lot of the same bosses. It was basically Carnage and all of his little children running around causing havoc. And this one was just the sequel to it, and it was a side scroller, which is kind of cool. So basically, you had like a hive of enemies that would come out. You'd have to beat them, and then you could just like side scroll over to like the next part of the game. So.
Yeah, exactly. And originally, I guess in the first one, they took out Carnage, so he's not even in this game. At the end of it, we just end up confronting the 5 symbiotes that you do fight throughout the game once again, and they're like sub bosses. So the last level is a bit interesting, but they kind of start out in the beginning where you're making your way through what they call the Life Foundation, which is basically the corrupt foundation that controls all these symbiotes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we just started out, and I don't have all the levels in front of me, but it was just like basically trying to infiltrate the foundation. So we started like on the street, and then where do we go to? Like after that, the mall, and then we had to do the
Underground
vents.
City.
Underground City, yeah, we went there, and then the vents, and then along the way you fight each of the different symbiotes, which it's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. And a Spider-Man game would not be a Spider-Man game without crawling through vents.
Exactly.
Yeah, so exactly. It took us a little bit of figuring out in that vent situation, like just talking about the environment briefly. It was kind of clunky and annoying at some points because they were like, oh, this is such a cool game. It's going to be like a 3D three-dimensional environment on a 2D side scroller, when really I'm just like, I just want the background that I'm walking around on, and then just, no pillars in the way or anything like that. And I guess it was just trying to make it a little harder, but it ended up just being more annoying to me than anything. I don't know about you.
No, it was exactly the same thing for me. Is they were like basically trying to make it cool, or like you said, like 3D. So there'd be basically like on a side, like a normal side scroller, they have like almost like a wallpaper background, and you can interact with that. Like you could jump on it, or like what is it called, like wall crawl, I guess. You could wall crawl, you could jump up and down it, and that was cool as well. But then you would just go. It's pretty much just like up and down, and then left, up, down, left, or right, and then the enemies were kind of on like I guess just like a perpendicular point, I get with you, and that's how you fought them. But then every once in a while in the game, they would take like a pillar or like a chain link fence and just put it in front, like basically in your vision of the game. And they were, like I said, they were trying to make it probably like 3D, or maybe this wasn't done before. It just was annoying. It literally just like if someone stuck your finger over a part of the screen, that's what it seemed like to me. And it was
exactly. It's like when your parents are walking in front of the game, or your little sister when you're playing it, back in the day, or you're like, get out of the way. That's just kind of how it felt.
Yeah. And then the environments as well too, like you were saying, like when we had to I don't know, like go in an elevator or go down a pipe or whatever, it wasn't necessarily easy to find, or they wouldn't tell you like, hey, go in here. So that was kind of poor.
In other parts of the game, it would say go this way and have an arrow. I wish like it took us a little bit in the vent to figure it out, because I wish it would have like an arrow down or like something, like that. It was kind of, you both had to line up in the exact same place to move on to the next section of the game, which I guess gives it a little strategy, but it was like we've been talking about, it just felt more annoying to me.
Yeah, it just wasn't very intuitive. It didn't feel natural, like, oh, I know exactly where to go next. Besides the fact that, it would say, like, go left or go right. It didn't lead you to the direction that you want to go. I didn't like that about it, but I thought the backgrounds and stuff were pretty nice.
Yeah, it was for a Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis game. The backgrounds were pretty smooth, and the characters themselves actually had a surprising amount of detail, I felt. What'd you think?
Yeah, same. So I thought especially Venom looked really, really cool. Spider-Man was fine too, and even you could definitely tell they spent the most time on those the character like animations above anything else.
Definitely, and the little just the little nuances of the game. You jump on the wall and Spider-Man would crawl, and then you jump off, and nothing would happen. But when you're Venom and you jump off the wall, the whole screen would shake a little bit, just because he's like heavier, So those little things about the game just made it a little more intuitive.
Yeah, it was. I mean, granted, this was 1995, so they probably didn't have that much to work with. They obviously, if a game now, if you can't hear someone's footsteps, they change like in the mud, and it doesn't sound like that. Like that's just what you come to expect. But at the time, just thinking, oh, maybe Venom's going to be heavier, so we're going to make the screen shake, or it's going to sound differently. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it gave it a little comic flair to it as well. I thought the web slinging was cool, and the battle system was actually a little, more than just like a punch people over and over again. You had different moves you could use. Venom has like a slam to the ground that beats all the enemies around you, and they both have shields, which the shields were a little questionable to me.
Yeah, here's another game that I was just trying to compare it to, because there's a lot of the superhero side scrollers. Which one was the arcade version of X-Men, where you could choose your character? Like you could choose Wolverine, and he had a set of moves like punch, kick, ultimate, whatever. When like those games were around the arcade?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they actually ported all those games to Super Nintendo. Let me see, X-Men, Super Nintendo. Yeah, there's X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, which was like a one-player side-scrolling game.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, there was another one too that was pretty cool, that was a two-player game that you could actually play with people. That was really fun.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's the only thing that I remember really vividly comparing it to, and so it kind of had the same thing, but the punches, yeah. So like you could jump around, you could pick people up, you could throw them at other enemies, you could use your web to pull them in closer or whatever. So I don't know about you, but the first couple levels, I thought it was kind of boring. Like it was just punching, and then the enemies were just coming up and punching you back. But as it like turns out, as it got further and further on, there was much more diversity, especially with you could again they put the most work into all the characters. Like the symbiotes all had different moves.
Yeah, and then the assists too. That was pretty cool. You find random assist tokens throughout the game, and the ones we came across, Captain America, Hawkeye, and Ghost Rider.
And Daredevil too. That was the four.
And Daredevil. Yeah, those were the 4. Yep. Yeah, they were pretty cool, and they all had different moves to help you out in certain ways. Like Hawkeye would fire arrows into the air, and it would land on the bad guys, And Captain America would throw a shield. What was Ghost Rider?
He had like a chain that he just like lassoed around, and it would.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it would fling some stuff.
And then Daredevil just kind of jumped through and hit people.
Yeah. Are those the most like iconic crossover to Spider-Man? I was just trying to think if there was any other ones that they should have added.
Yeah, they could have put like Black Cat in there, something like that. Because that was like Spider-Man's buddy, in all of the shows, and I think he was even her like love interest at one point.
I was about to say, I was like,
and stuff like that.
I don't know about you, but whenever Black Cat was around and Peter Parker still wanted Mary Jane, I was just like, what are you doing, dude? Come on.
Yeah.
Black Cat's way cooler.
Yeah. Yeah. She like fights crime with you, and like she's hot, and like
she's
everything
hot.
in between.
Exactly.
And didn't let's see. No, that was I was thinking, did Eddie Brock have a thing with Felicia at one point too? Or was just Morbius, I think.
No, I think they all did. I think Felicia was like the town.
Yeah, because Spider-Man had something with her, and then I know she had like a big thing with. There's like a big story arc with Morbius in a lot of the comics, and then in the animated series show, which was my really foray into Spider-Man.
Yeah, same, absolutely. But yeah, Felicia, because remember Morbius was always just like, "Oh, Felicia, don't look at me,
my love,
my love."
Which side note, they're making a Morbius movie, so pretty stoked to see what happens there. Yeah, yeah. The Joker, what's his name? 30 Seconds to Mars. He's gonna play Morbius.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, that's right.
I could definitely see that more than the Joker.
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be Morbius, the living vampire.
Interesting. That'll be weird. Speaking of two, is remember? So Morbius is the same. During that time in the series was when Spider-Man like gets injected with the extra spider stuff, and he becomes the mutant Spider-Man.
Yeah,
with all
that's
the arms.
right.
That happened at the same time.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty sweet. And then he like just grows like 8 arms, and then or 6 arms, and then plus his legs make 8, and then he turned into like the crazy like monster beast, which was nuts.
Yeah, he was just running around and stuff, but
yeah. Anyway, though, back to the game. The game overall, it was cool. It had a little bit of a story, which in between the levels, it'd just be like, this is what's going on next with the Life Foundation, kind of thing. And then at the end is just like the giant ending boss fight, where you fight all of the bosses you've already fought before, just basically in one room.
I feel like a lot of Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo games did this, because if I'm not mistaken, like in Kirby, it's the same way. At the very end, you fight all of the bosses.
Yeah,
is that not true?
Yeah, exactly. They just ended up reusing content for the game.
They're like, I don't know how to just make the last boss fight. Yeah, because the Carnage level in this game is you're like, oh, I remember this guy, I remember that guy, and it was all of them, and then they all came out at once. They're flying around. It was chaotic.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Well, yeah. Overall, Electronic Gaming Monthly, when it came out, gave this game a 4.75 out of 10. Next Generation gave it 2 stars on Genesis and SNES, and then apparently there's a PC game that gave it 1 star. So, overall, it didn't do well in the critics, but it was definitely some good nostalgia for me, just going back and playing it again.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely maybe it's just because I never played this one, but I played Carnage, and I had so much nostalgia. Like Spider-Man, one of my favorite things in the world. So I just liked it because it was Spider-Man. But as a game, I didn't like as much as Biker Mice from Mars. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I would have to agree with you there. I think the best part about it was just the characters themselves, just the detail they put in it, and you felt it. Although it felt redundant at times, you had enough, like, you could web sling, you could fight, you could do this move, you could do that move, oh, I didn't know I could do that move, kind of thing. And the assists kind of made it a little different, but, it was just a classic Super Nintendo beat 'em up game, That's actually the genre here on Wikipedia, beat 'em up genre. I didn't even know it was a genre.
Yeah, so again, I'm just trying to compare it to all the other side scrollers that I've done, and I probably would say that's true. Is like super middle of the road because, for instance, the X-Men game that I'm talking about, that had like you could go down and you'd do like a low kick, a high kick, had an ultimate, and it was much more fluid, and the music was better. Like I thought the music sucked in this one.
Yeah. I didn't have when we were playing. I didn't have the music turned on, but yeah, it was just kind of like the same thing over and over and over and over. Nothing really changed too much with it.
Yeah, it was like a Swedish discotheque, just over and over again. It was, I don't know, it wasn't that good.
Yep. So the developer was Software Creations, and the publisher was Acclaim Entertainment. So other than the characters themselves, Marvel didn't have a hand in this game at all, which is interesting.
Acclaim. I remember Acclaim. I don't even remember Software Creations. Is Acclaim still around?
Yeah, I don't even think either of them are still around.
Oh, yeah. So Fate. Chapter 7, Bankruptcy, and 2004. So.
Yeah, defunct. And then Acclaim went down in 2004 as well. So they're both not around anymore.
Well, they should have put more work into this game. Maybe they'd survive.
Maybe it would have saved them. Yeah. Anyway, well, I think for me, I think this is probably I agree with Next Generation on 2 stars for the game.
Yeah, I think so
if
too.
We're doing out of 5, yeah. 2
I
stars
think out of
5.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I think it was 2 stars out of 5 too. I enjoyed it for what it was. Just because, like, nostalgically, I know that me and you both like it. I do think the character development. The models are really good. Like even the enemies and stuff. But it was funny. Did you notice in the game is like when it was the human enemies, whenever like they would die, it looked like they were like flubber. They were just made of like.
Yeah.
It was weird.
They just flub and disappear.
But the symbiotes were cool. All the symbiotes, like, they definitely put a lot of work into them. I like the symbiotes.
Yeah, no, I think it was cool for what it was and all that. Like, a lot of nostalgia there with some Spider-Man, and we know that Spider-Man has been a big topic this week. So transitioning into the next thing to talk about is I've been playing Spider-Man on PS4.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy it tonight.
Yeah, so comparing to this game, really, they're in 2 different whole like levels of game and stuff. But man, this Spider-Man game is so good, like the story-wise and the voice acting and graphics overall. Playing it on a PS4 Pro, and it is just absolutely beautiful.
Does the Pro make a big difference? Like when you bought a Pro, did it make a difference to you?
Yeah, I have a remote play app for my phone, and I'll play it on that versus playing it on my TV, and that dumbs down the graphics back to like a regular PS4, and it really like is a lot smoother, and you can really tell a pretty good difference with it when it says enhanced for PS4 Pro.
Because I think it runs at like 60 frames a second in PS4 Pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the time, like it doesn't dip. That makes a big difference if you know what you're looking at. And do you have it on a 4K TV?
Yep. Yep.
See, maybe once
4K.
Maybe when I buy a 4K TV, then I'll have to get a Pro as well. But hey, that's a good thing actually. Just I'm sorry, going back to the other game is if there was like even just a little bit of voice acting in this game, do you think, or the separation anxiety, do you think it would have been way better? Because I think so.
Yeah, I think if they had the technology back then to put that into the game, that would have been really cool. Made it more engaging. That's what with this new Spider-Man on PS4, like the story more than the gameplay is just so engaging because it's like, oh yeah, you play a little bit and you fight and do this, but you move on. It's like a movie, Even spoiler alert. Stan Lee shows up in the game like he does in every Marvel movie or entity these days.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. But I won't give much away about it to those people who are just playing it, and also to you since you're going to go get it. But it's definitely will have you hooked for how many ever hours it is to play the game and beyond, just because of all the side quest things that are going on with the game too.
So, after you've been, you said you're like, we talked before the show, like 5 hours into it. Is it on the same level as Spider-Man for PS2?
It's giving me that feeling again. Like, this game is so awesome. I just want to continue to play it over and over and over again,
Yeah, because Spider-Man PS2 was one of my favorite PS2 games, period. Just out of all of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. That changed the whole entire... the whole game when it came to like any open world superhero game,
Yeah, because I mean, at least that was, besides MMOs or something like that, that was the first one that replicated a city so well. And after it was loaded in, you didn't have to. I mean, I think when you went inside buildings and stuff, it would load, but there was like no loading, which was awesome.
Yeah, and I just exactly like you said, there's really no loading when it comes to it, and it's just such a open world environment where there's just so much going on. You're like web slinging to get to the next mission or part of the story, but there's like missions on the side. It's like, oh, there's a car chase here. So you like veer off and you're like chasing a car for a little bit. And then there's like different achievements you can get throughout the game. And that's how you unlock new suits and abilities and stuff. And it's just all over, just a really cool game, and gives me a lot of flashbacks just with like real graphics, really crazy good graphics to the in the PS4 version versus the PS2.
Cool.
And New York City is replicated really well too, which is awesome. And they have, even after the story's done, they have a lot of DLC planned for this game, so a lot more story to be announced, kind of thing, which is really cool which would have been really cool for Spider-Man 2 back in the day if they had the technology to release DLC and stuff like that and really add to the game.
How's the combat?
It's awesome, and it definitely keeps you on your toes. I don't play like the hardest mode, but I play them just regular medium, and it's still pretty hard. Like, I've died definitely a lot of times doing stuff, just getting the hang of it and everything. But
is it like Arkham or Assassin's Creed, or what's the?
Yeah, it's like Arkham, but like Spider-Man version, there's just so many aspects of the combat to it. There's so many moves and all that. I'm still trying to figure out exactly, every single move to the game,
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it, because I need to look up the score right now, but I'm pretty sure I got a good one.
Yeah, whenever we circle back to Spider-Man games to like review retro style, I definitely want you and I both to play the Spider-Man for PlayStation 1. That really changed the, jumped from 2D to 3D, and it was like the whole game was like voiceover. That was like the first game I remember playing that was totally voiceover and stuff like that, and this game is like between that and Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 2, just kind of like the evolution of these games just really get like that. The PS1 brought it to a whole new level with like the 3D graphics and the voiceover, and then the PS2 version brought the open world aspect to the whole thing with voiceovers and a good story. And then now this game is bringing like a whole new story, whole new like kind of aspect on Spider-Man and everything. So it's really good. really looking forward to playing it some more coming up here.
Very cool. No, that's really good. I just was looking at the scores, and it's like 4 out of 5, 8.7 out of 10, or 87% Metacritic. That's pretty good. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it definitely keeps you hooked. Like I could probably play all night if I didn't have a life the next day.
Yeah, I know, man. It's weird having one of those, having a life.
Yeah, I just think in the back of my head around 7 o'clock or so, my 3-year-old's gonna come wake me up. So better get some sleep. If I stay up till 3 in the morning, that's only a few hours sleep, and then I have to go on about my day.
God, man, it was so crazy. I was talking to a friend today, and we were just talking about, because he just turned 30, and you'll be 30 next.
Yeah, next
yeah.
year.
So exactly. So you're coming up on 30, and I was like. And I said, how did you feel? And he says, I think I can actually call myself an adult now. Like, I feel like an adult. And I said, yeah, I feel like an adult too in a lot of ways, except when I'm like going home to play Spider-Man or video games or these things. I still feel like I'm 15. I don't know how you feel, but it's like, you have a wife, a kid, a career, like a good job,
yeah,
everything else. And yet there's still days that I'm like, kind of feel like I'm still 15.
Yeah, especially when we're sitting here playing Super Nintendo games on a Monday afternoon. I don't know if that's like we've set our lives up and done things right to where we're not killing it every day, or if like we need to like get real lives and move past these things. But I don't want to. I love it.
Yeah, I never want to start taking myself too seriously, so absolutely not. I still want to be able to come home and play Spider-Man with my friends. So.
Yep, and I'm about to circle back around on all these things with having one little kiddo and another one on the way. So definitely never gonna grow up, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's very, very, very true. Well, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, definitely cool game to do for the second one, and looking forward to next week. I know we haven't even really talked about it, but any ideas on what you think you want to do?
We haven't even talked about it, no, so I have no clue. I know I kind of said it before, but it would be cool to revisit like a sports game,
okay,
or an RPG, like something that is more yeah, just I don't know, because we've done a racing game. So we did Biker Mice, which was a racer game. This one was a side scroller, beat 'em up. So I think we should do like a strategy, or like a sports or an RPG.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. As far as RPGs, I think that one might need a few more weeks or even a month for us to really be able to get a lot of time on.
Mainly because you're too busy playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, for real, it's dominating my life right now. I did
man.
actually. It's not an RPG game, but I have on the side been playing Banjo-Kazooie, and I've gotten pretty far into it. So
it's like an adventure game. I mean, RPG adventure totally counts.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm about halfway through it right now. So
is there like what would be cool is I have like a fond nostalgia for like golf games, like on like a NES, or like a Mario Golf or something. That would be fun.
There was like a Mario Golf 64 that was pretty fun back in the day. I remember we used to play that when it was out. That and Mario Tennis.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to figure it out, but I definitely think we just need to try to spread the genres around, because some people, like just in general, not play the same type of games, and just see what was. I think we could, after a couple months, revisit like what was like the NES or the Super Nintendo, or per like console almost, or time period, like what type of game flourished with the technology, and what type of game was horrible.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I had a baseball game back in the day for Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And that was pretty good. I can't remember exactly which one it was. I think it was Ken Griffey Jr.'s winning run. So we could try that if you want to.
Yeah. I'd be down.
Actually, I think I had the one right before that. Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball. It was one of those.
The only game I will never play again is like Wayne Gretzky's hockey
Yeah.
like N64. I had that game when I was younger, and I loved hockey because of the Mighty Ducks, which, let's be
Yeah. Why wouldn't you in the 90s?
who doesn't like the Mighty Ducks? Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
And but that game just infuriated me, and I'm never gonna play it again. But I would totally be down for like a baseball game.
Oh, here's the one I had. I MLB PA. Let's do that one.
Okay.
MLB PA baseball.
MLB PA.
Yeah.
Baseball. SNES. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we'll do that one next week, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can play just like games on our own to get familiarized with it, and then we'll play together, kind of like we did, with this one.
Yeah, so we're actually kind of sticking around the same time because this is Super Nintendo. Came out March 1994.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to do, just for the future, is maybe we'll play like 5 games per like time period, or on like Super Nintendo, and then we can play some on like PS1, or even go in reverse and play some like on the NES or whatever. So that way we can stick in the same time period and say, okay, this was by far the best game in that time period because of these reasons. I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I like that idea. So we'll do we'll do this one, and then we'll talk offline about where we want to move to kind of next, and go from there.
Oh, I just remembered. Yeah, we can definitely do that. But if anyone ends up playing Separation Anxiety, there was a really, really dirty person on the character development side. You know how we said all the character models were? We forgot to talk about the air hump master.
Oh, dude, yes.
Just totally forgot about that.
The whole game, like the shocker type character in the game, like he just basically shot lightning bolts out of his hands. He would like walk around like all smooth and stuff, and then he would just like start humping the air.
Yeah, it was like his defense mechanism. It was really weird. Like,
yeah, and you couldn't attack him.
You couldn't attack him, and he would just like be
have a force field. It's pretty hilarious.
Oh, there was definitely a sleazebag on that development team.
For sure. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. No pun intended.
Oh man, absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So I've been playing Spider-Man. What have you been playing recently? Still on the WoW train?
Yeah, some new. So basically, like when a new expansion comes out, because I know it's been a while since you've played, they lock the content, like the rating content and the high end, like the end game content every, like I think it's for 2 weeks, and or even like different parts of the game. Like they'll say, okay, yeah, you can get to the level cap and you can start doing world quests and all this other stuff, and then some new stuff comes out, or like a new zone. So that came out like where you have like a new base in like I play Alliance, which is Kalimdor. So no, not Kalimdor. Anyway, so it's gated content. So new content comes out and you can play it. So that's where like some new stuff. I wasn't playing for a while because I'd done everything in the first week, or not everything, but a lot of stuff. And then some new stuff came out, so I'm playing that. And then I've been playing a lot of League of Legends because that's just what you can play with some friends and hang out and rage at your computer and want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I have not played that much. Been super busy. Been feeling bad, sick. My wife's been sick, so yeah, haven't been doing too much. Oh, I did re-download Clash of Clans after like not playing for 6 years. I don't know why, but I didn't re-download it. It was for some reason just on my iPad. So I opened it up, re-logged in, and just kind of saw like the updates they've done to that game, and it's come a long way. It's kind of fun, so I might start playing that again. I haven't really been playing any mobile game at all for years, but I spent like hundreds of dollars when that game first came out.
Yeah, for sure. We had like a pretty good group of friends playing too. We had like 10 or 12 people that were playing, and we all kind of played together, which was fun.
Oh yeah, we had like 20. I think we had a clan of like 12 to, well, there was other guys that we didn't know, but like 12 to 15 guys in the clan, and it just fell off, or at least I fell off. I just stopped playing. I actually downloaded it before I went on my honeymoon, and played it on my honeymoon.
Oh really?
Yes.
On the honeymoon, it was that bad, was it? No, I'm just playing.
Well, you got to do something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm a big Power Ranger fan, so I play a lot of the Power Ranger Legacy War game. It's sucked me in pretty good for a long time. I'm actually about to just take a pretty good break from it because it's getting overly pay to play type of thing and all that. So I'll circle back to it eventually, but
Yeah. How much money have you spent on that game? Like, or let's say for instance, besides the games that you play, like Spider-Man, where you buy it and you've already paid for the DLC stuff, like
yeah.
like a mobile game, or even like a I don't know, like a Fortnite, something that's free but you can pay for skins. How much do you end up spending on those games?
Yeah, I mean, I used to spend a lot, and like I've just told myself like I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna spend money to play this game, and I'll just like be as good as I can be without spending money. And probably on this one I've spent $100 or something, something like that,
$100,
through
yeah.
playing it for about a year and a half. So
Oh, that's not bad.
yeah, this year I haven't spent any money on it at all. So I
Yeah, that's
just told
good.
myself, I was like, yeah, I spent money on it and didn't really get me far. You have to spend like a ton of money to be really good at, like, to be top tier and all that stuff. And I just enjoy it for like the nostalgia and the new characters and stuff like that. So
Nice. Yeah, I end up spending. I try not to, and then I'll get to a point where they'll get you like you just need one more of this thing, and then you're gonna go up 6 levels, or you're gonna rank up another 1,000 points, and it gets me every time. So that honestly, that's why I stopped playing Clash of Clans, is because I was at a point where I either had to pay money or I had to just wait for like months, and I just like forget this.
yeah, just done. Yep.
Yeah, I was just done.
For sure. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, like I got the new Madden game the other day as well, because had like they had it pre-owned, and I had like a pre-owned coupon and all this kind of stuff. So got the new Madden game. I haven't gotten into it very much, but it's a little different than last year. There's more to it, like there is every year. So I'll be able to update on that after a little while.
Yeah, I would like to talk to you just or get your perspective of, because I know you buy pretty much every Madden, right? That when it comes out.
Yeah, I view it as like, it's like a $60 upgrade yearly, kind of thing to the game to just keep it going.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this year I was really going back and forth whether I was going to get it or not, and basically with like the coupon and the pre-owned and the Elite Pro membership, I ended up getting it for like $25. So I was like, I'm good there. So I went ahead.
You just sounded like the biggest game like snob ever. Like, when I had my my amazing Elite membership, down where they know me at the store, GameStop.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that makes me a snob. I think that just makes me a nerd.
Hey man, nerds can be snobs too, but the way it
True.
sounded, it was hilarious. Like, not only the premium elite memberships of the 6, I don't know.
Hey, it gave me like $10 off the game. All right, just by having that membership.
Dude, I'm not hating. I actually, you're the reason that I started buying games instead of downloading them, because you were trading in and like getting so much money that like I actually started buying physical copies again, because after that, if I don't play them, I can just trade them in. That I paid for my Switch completely with trade-ins.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I had my Wii U and like all the games, and it paid for my Switch and like Zelda, which was what I ended up getting on launch with it. And then I got I had a PlayStation, and I traded that and like a broken controller that I had for my PS4, and like all of that. It worked. It just was like really worn out. But like, and I ended up getting a PS4 Pro with that. So like literally, I've gotten all the new systems recently by trading, and haven't had to spend a dime, and actually had some money left over after, like, if you just hit it at the right time, you can get like all the bonuses and stuff like that. And
yeah. No, that's awesome.
Cool.
Like, you were the reason that you're like, hey, you should just go trade your stuff in, and you should have enough money for Switch. I was like, they're going to give me $10 for all this stuff. They didn't. They got me like, $200 for all my games, and I traded my my Wii and my old DS and stuff, and it worked out good. So thank you for being the light of reason and saving me money that I didn't need to spend.
Yeah, instead of just having downloaded files that you can play forever and ever that you'll never play again after the new one comes out.
Exactly, just gigs of nonsense.
Yep, exactly. As far as games, I'd much rather have a physical copy. With movies and things like that, I'm all about buying them on iTunes because you have them forever and you can watch them over and over and over and over, and there's no way to possibly trade them in.
Yeah, there's not like a GameStop for movies, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really the way of the future. Obviously it is the future with just like it is the now and the future with just having these awesome in the cloud libraries of movies and stuff like that. But with video games, they go outdated so fast, and you just like never want to play them again.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Also, one thing I did notice on Twitter today was that they had new footage for Kingdom Hearts 3 with Big Hero 6. Finally.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. Looks pretty awesome. So
I'll
really
have to look
excited
that up after we. Oh yeah. If anyone listening doesn't know, me and Mason have bonded and will continue to bond forever because our love of Kingdom Hearts. And it's been, 12, 13 years since the last one?
Oh, dude. I remember, like literally we were, like little preteen kids when the first one came out. And then, like, the second one came out in 2006, and we could barely drive, but we drove to, like, get that game, and we played that morning, like the whole first part of the story, and then we beat it in like a couple weeks, and we've been waiting ever since for the third one to come out.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal: is you could drive at the time. I was, I think, 15. No. I could drive too.
Yeah, because we had to take your truck somewhere that morning. So
yeah, but like I'm pretty sure at least when we were driving, you weren't supposed to drive anyone else that was like under 21.
Yeah, that's
but
right. For 6 months.
We were just like, screw this, we're going to get Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, it was awesome.
We're such
and
rebels.
then I've played all the games in between and all that, which has been fun, but it's not like a legit console game,
Yeah, I played them all too, or I went back and played them once they got re-released on
Game.
Yeah, when they came out on PS4 and stuff. But it's nothing like this one. This one looks 100% like something that I need in my life.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be amazing, and it's supposedly the last one in the series, so there will be no more waiting for Kingdom Hearts after it's all done. I'm like, I told my wife the other day, I'm like, my son is going to be so spoiled because we had to wait so long, and he's just going to have like all these games right at his disposal.
Yeah. Have you seen this Kingdom Hearts VR?
Oh yeah, I did. It's like an experience which basically is going to be, you go back through, or it's just going to be like, I think it's just going to be cinematics through the game, but with like a VR experience to it, which will be pretty cool.
Ooh, yeah, I want that.
That's the article I read. It looks pretty good. I have a PSVR, and I go through spurts with it where I'll play it a lot, and then I won't play it at all for months. So
yeah.
But there's a couple cool games out there I want to play right now, and there's some cool stuff coming, so I may pick it up after I'm done with Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man.
Yeah, well, been a good chat. Good talking to you, and we will hit up that MLBPA baseball next week.
Absolutely, and tell the folks where they can email or give us a follow and stuff, please.
We're going to get a Twitter eventually, and probably an Instagram too. But for right now, it is kitgpodcast@gmail.com. You can email us there. You can find us on iTunes. Right now, we're not on any of the other ones, but we'll look to that in the future, and leave us a review or email us and tell us you hate us, but only 5-star reviews.
Exactly. Yeah, we'd love to hear from anyone just for thoughts, concerns, not concerns. I don't know what you'd be concerned about except our mental health, but yeah, just tell us what you guys think, and we'd love to know if there'd be any ideas for segments or a game, definitely a game that you would like us to play and review, or something that you haven't done and don't have time for but would like to listen to.
We are definitely down for suggestions on what we should play. Like that would be really cool to like have a fan suggestion and then we play it and it's maybe something we've never played before. So that'd be really awesome.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, bro. We will chat at you next week.
Later.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.